at the top to the little blue button where it says chat and open it up.
Ebony.
A-
Ebony.
And Erica
We're
has,
live.
oh,
Ebony, we're live. Okay.
hi.
Hello. Let me see if everyone can hear us. One moment. Let's see here. We need everyone to refresh their page. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I don't see anything yet. Okay,
Yay.
wonderful. We're on. We're live, y'all, all the way live. Okay.
Whoop, whoop.
Ooh.
Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Whoop, whoop. I'm so glad that you all are here. We have some extremely powerful professional experts here. And I am Erica Kareem. I am the host for tonight. And I want to say something to you. My goal is to always, I mean always, in everything that I do, I want to make sure that when people leave me, they are better than I found them. So tonight, we are here to give you our challenges, our failures, our setbacks, and some absolute wonderful nuggets that you can move forward in 2015 in spite of. Now you may ask, in spite of what? In spite of a divorce, in spite of a loss of a loved one, in spite of loss of a house or a car, maybe your health is bad, maybe in spite of you are having teenagers and your children may have ran away and they're acting a plumb dumb fool. Now that's what I call it. Some of you have been there, and some of you that have not, don't speak too fast, boo. And some of you have had a newborn with no daycare. So in spite of, no matter what you came here for, we are here to help you. And one thing that I know is that we are all women that have kindred spirits, and we all want the same things in life. We want success. We want to leave a legacy. We want to be loved. We want those trusted friendships. We want support
Mhm.
and a community, and we want to live our life meaningful. So my
Mhm.
request for you is that I want you to be here with an open heart and engage with us. Ask us questions and come here to get what you've come to get so that we can help you. And my big promise to you today is if you take notes, you will learn something so amazing so that you can rock it out in 2015 and make that your best year ever. Also, we have a part two. If you come and finish out part two with us, we do have some freebies
Oh yeah.
for you. But I want to warn you, my resource that I'm going to share with you, there's a cost to it, there's a fee. However, if you want to rock it out and you're committed, stay tuned. Now, I handpicked these ladies because they are professional, and I wanted them to help me to help you rock it out and take it to the next level. And these women I know can definitely do that. And I know that they are going to bring it tonight. Now, you may ask me, how did I pick these women? These women are going to be very transparent with you, and they want to see other women succeed. The only thing that I ask for you to do is to pay it forward. Whatever you learn tonight, I want you to take it to your friends and your loved ones so that they can grow with you, because you don't need to grow alone. And our hashtag for tonight is Rock It Out 2015. Hashtag Rock It Out 2015. And before I forget, my email, you may want this. Some of you may want this at the end. It's info@ericakareen.com. info@AERICARRIEM.com. So I want to introduce my lovely panel. And we are going to, let's see, one moment, hold on. Somebody need a headset because I can hear my echo. Does anybody not have a headset in? Everybody have a headset in? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the first one is Shayla. Shayla, how are you?
Hey, Erica, I'm doing wonderful. So glad to be with you tonight.
Thank you so much for accepting my offer to join us. Introduce yourself so that these women out here can know who you are and where you come from.
Awesome. Well, I am Shayla Boyd Gill, CEO and founder of Labor Business Coaching, and I take pride in helping service-based women entrepreneurs to ditch the money guilt and build wildly profitable businesses. So if you're ready to get rid of the past and monetize your mess, I'm the person to speak to.
Okay.
Right.
The next one is Lori. Lori Pelzer. Can you introduce yourself?
Well, hello, ladies. I am Lori Pelzer. I'm the CEO of Be Inspired International. My motto is, before a woman can become the woman she envisioned, she must first be inspired to be that woman. I'm just a girl from the projects with 2 babies by 18, homeless at times, abandoned, abused, childless, father syndrome, girl syndrome, and it impacted my entire life. And so my whole life I've been becoming. So I'm in love with the butterfly. My company stands for the butterfly, helping a woman become. And that's what I do as the woman success coach and an inspirational speaker to ignite you to become the woman you envision.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say thank you so much for accepting my invitation, because I know that all of you are going to bring it tonight. Okay, Ebony, please introduce yourself.
All right, what's up? Hello, everybody. My name is Ebony Trust. I am the CEO of the Purpose, Passion, and Profit Group. And my sole purpose in life is to take women from being sad, mad, busted, and disgusted to living a life of fulfillment through helping them to discover their divine purpose, strategize on systems to monetize that purpose, and then put together a personalized action plan to make it all happen. I want to challenge every single woman that I come in contact with to be everything that she hadn't been, more than what she is now, and greater than what she ever thought she could be. Get to know me.
Okay, Ebony, woo woo. Thank you so much. Okay, next is Chanya Johnson. Thank you so much, Chanya. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, you guys. I'm Chanya Johnson. I'm a government relations consultant. And what I do is help women build their messages, the momentum and the movement that they need to successfully be able to do business with the government. So that's who I am.
Okay, the government queen. Okay, woo woo. Okay, Cheryl Pullins. Thank you so much. Tell everyone about yourself.
Hello, ladies. This is Cheryl Pullins. Hopefully you can hear me well because I'm not used to these buds. But I am a gap-toothed brown girl from South Philly who took a chance on herself. And it is my desire to help women become the fullest expression of who they are destined to be. And it's because of my own journey and my own understanding that there is a woman that I desire to become, and there's a life that I deserve to have. And I help ladies go on a path of doing that, and I use entrepreneurship as a way to make it happen.
Well, thank you so much. Okay. So I want to tell you about myself. The ladies have told you about them. And I want to tell you that what I do, again, I'm Erica Kareem, and I help moms with multiple children to create and manage a successful business while filling the emptiness in their soul and connecting them with moms so you don't feel alone. Now, let me repeat that again because people with multiple children, this is something that we don't talk about because we act like we have it all going on. So let me tell you again, I help moms with multiple children create and manage a successful business while filling the emptiness in their souls and connecting them with other moms so they don't be alone. Now let that rest with you for a minute. I had 2 children by the age of 21. And by 25, I was married and I had more children. I have 7 children total. And I was bodacious and confident. I was, in my younger 20s, you know how we are. We got it going on. We are unstoppable at that age. And as I got more children and more children, the only thing I wanted to do was be a loving mother. And I cooked with love. I cleaned with love. And I was the PTA president so that I can be closer to my children. And as I had more children, I became the un-me. Did y'all hear that? The un-me. And I asked myself, how did I get here? What happened? And so I knew that I wanted to be more than just a mother and a wife. My spirit was it wasn't there. I knew it was something more to me. So if you're feeling like that, then I know exactly where you stand, and I can help you with that. So this webinar is for you if you feel stuck and you've been praying and you've been praying. You've been praying to get to the next level. And this is for you if you feel like that your life is out of order, disorganized, and you need a life makeover. Have you ever heard of a life makeover where you just feel like something has got to give? Now, if you are an emotional wreck, whether that is feeling non-supported, feel alone, feel like you should be farther than what you are now currently, I've been there. This is for you if you're constantly cheering people on. You're liking people's Facebook, you're seeing how other people are doing, but you don't have anyone cheering you on. You're not even cheering yourself on. Well, tonight is a different story because we are here to support you. We want what's best for you. I want you to listen closely. We're doing this because we want you to shine. Yes, we want you to shine because it is your time, and we want you to shout it. It is my time. Shout it right now. It is my time. Now, the people in your house, yes, the people in your house may be like, what in the world? But you know what? It is your time, and you have to believe. Now, if you want to get your confidence back, this is for you. Now, we know that when we help more women and we help more mothers, we know that we help more families. Bottom line. We want you to get into a community where you're supported, and we want you to take action. We want you to stop dreaming without an action behind it. And we want you to make sure that you commit tonight. And what you're going to do is raise your hand and say, Do it anyway. Let's do it anyway, no matter what. We're stopping to the perfection. Let's do it anyway. Now, let me tell you who it's not for. If you are not willing to change your life, make any change, just one change, because that one change can get you to the next level. If you are always blaming others for your not succeeding in life or your lack of success, this is not for you. Because in order to succeed, you have to take responsibility. And if you want your relationships or your mindset, if you want your bank account, your health, it's all a direct correlation to how you strategically and consistently take action so you can get the specific results you want to achieve. You have to do it. And lastly, if you are on this call if you are not on this call with an open heart, and you have to be able to let us pour into you, pour greatness into you, so that you can live an extraordinary life. Now, a few of you, we don't want to reach out to people if you are, well, let me just say this. If you know that you have less confidence and you're dying on the inside, you're hurting and you're frustrated, and you're judging yourself, you're hard on yourself, and you're worrying about what other people think, you won't succeed. You have to let it all go. Just let it go. And I want to tell you this. If you want more money, you have to invest in yourself. Invest in your knowledge, your personal development. And there's a quote that I want to say to you. It says, letting go of what no longer serves you opens you up to receive all the new gifts life is waiting for you. And I'll say it again, letting go of what no longer serves you. What no longer serves you. So just figure out in your life what no longer serves you that you need to get rid of, so that you can open up yourself to receive new gifts that life has waiting for you. Now we're going to, I have my panel of experts, and I have questions that I'm going to ask them. And the first one is, we're going to get in your business, because that's what you came here for, right? You want to know what happened in their life or what happened in their business at first and now, so that what changes did they make so that you can follow in their footsteps, because guess what? Success leaves clues, right? Okay, and the second one is, what I wish I knew then that I know now. And the other one is, what is possible when? What is possible when? Okay, so game time is on. Woo woo. Again, the hashtag is Rocket Out 2015. So I am going to start with Shayla. What was your aha moment when you decided to be a coach or a consultant?
Great question, Erica. I really decided to take the leap and support other women when I realized that I needed to support myself. You know, had I had the support from the beginning, I could have avoided a lot of the pitfalls. I learned a lot of mistakes on my journey the hard way. I paid the price for it, and I wanted to support other women so they didn't have to take the fall as hard as I took it.
Okay, good, good. Okay, Lori, can you answer the same question?
Coming off of mute. My journey is so long, and I'm going to try to definitely give it to you ladies in the most holistic but yet heartfelt way. My whole life I've been becoming, Erica, and ladies out there, coming from teen motherhood and coming through poverty and the projects and single mother and fatherless and isolation, abandonment, and all of those amazingly hard ones to overcome, I've always been becoming. So this whole space I find myself in as the woman success coach, it's not unusual. It was designed for me. So, I spent 17 years in the real estate business, and I recognized all I ever did was tell a woman what she could become. Yes, she could become a homeowner. So the whole word be, from the caterpillar to the butterfly, it's been a process unfolding a lifetime for me. It is not something I just decided to do for money, for quick cash infusion in my life, or to see my face out there on social sphere. A lot of people do things for a lot of different reasons. So to the bottom of it, I want to see women really see the best of her. And she has yet to see that. She wants to be the businesswoman that makes 7 figures. She wants to be the businesswoman that makes 6 figures. I know she wants that. It tastes good. I've tasted it before. But there's a missing element, and I realized what it was. She has to go through a burning. She has to go through a tearing off, Erica. She has to go to a deeper place to locate herself. And once she does that, I truly believe defining and designing the woman she wants to be. And that's why I'm here. I'm here too. I'm a woman. I'm all woman. I'm all about the woman. I don't dislike my sisters. I don't trip over her shoes. I don't mess around with talking about her behind her back. I believe that I'm sitting here as a leader to collaborate my gifts to help her be what she has been designed from the foundation of the earth to be. And it's time for us all to do that. Competition spirit does not have a place in this. This is a kingdom assignment.
That's good stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Lori. I'm 100% behind you. Woo woo. Okay.
Woo woo.
Okay. Ebony, can you please answer the same question?
Of course. Okay, so much like my counterparts who are here, I actually had no intention of doing anything, coaching, speaking, any of that at all. No, absolutely no intention. My entire life I wanted to be an attorney. And it was actually during a very low point in my life, and like Lori, I don't want to kind of go in depth with it at this point, but I was trying to save and breathe life into a business that was dying, because it was not what I was called to do. And so in the midst of that, actually I just kind of happened upon it. I was listening to a speaker, and the Spirit of God was like, okay, this is what I've called you to do. And so just out of obedience initially to the Spirit of God, I said, yes. And then what God began to show me was that for the last, 6-7 years, I had been coaching women and speaking and encouraging and ministering. I just didn't know that I was coaching. Like, I had no idea that was even a niche or something to do. And so I have been doing it all the time, and I love it. I love introducing women to who they are and then challenging them to go further. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Chanya?
Okay, repeat the question for me.
So the question is, what was your aha moment when you decided you wanted to be a coach, a consultant? How did it come about for you?
Okay, so I would say my background is government relations. I was a government affairs person, worked on Capitol Hill for the past 15 years, working with members of Congress and the administration. And probably in the last 3-4 years, I did a lot of work with women who were running for office. And so while I was doing that work, I realized I was actually coaching them on how to put their best foot forward, how to develop their message for a winning campaign. And I think I was at an event with Vicki Johnson out of DC area, and at that moment she asked a question, and I answered the question about how it is we get to a place where we're crystal clear about what it is we want to do. In that moment, I said what I did was, or what I was going to do, is upgrade my space. So I removed myself from, relationships, the environment that I thought was toxic for me where I was working. And I just got crystal clear. I wrote down what it is I wanted to do. I also gave myself permission to do it. And that's the message that I like to encourage women. Give yourself permission to do whatever it is you believe God has called you to do. Because we often, as women, even myself, less than 3 years ago, I was looking for validation. I was looking for people saying, go ahead, Chanya, you can do it. Go ahead, Chanya. I'm cheering you on. But we have to give ourselves permission to do what it is we have been called to do, despite what other people may say. No, that doesn't sound right. You've invested all this time doing this work, making 6 figures. Guess what? If God has called you to do it, the point is that you must do what he said do, and give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to laugh, to love again if you find yourself in that situation. But that's pretty much how I got to where it is I am now. And so what I do is I'm still in government relations. I love the field of study. I love helping people understand how it is they can sort of interact with the government and be effective. But I do it mostly with women now. Really getting them to understand that, we should have a seat at the table. It should not be the good old boy network telling us what to do about our bodies, about our lives, about our jobs. We should take ownership of that and move forward. So that's sort of how I got there. And I'm still on the journey, going to be on the journey for a while, but I'm looking forward to it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cheryl, what about you? What was your aha moment?
Well, my aha moment, it really came about after, first of all, I started, in human resources. I worked in human resources for 22 years. I was a corporate girl. That was all I wanted to be. I wanted to be in corporate America. I was on the corporate climb, in HR, very female-dominated field, and that's where I wanted to be and I wanted to stay. But then life happened and things changed, and I needed a place where I could heal because I had gone through a lot in my life. And I have this fascination with magazines. I absolutely love them. So I published a digital magazine for women for 4 years before they even became popular. And I found that I absolutely loved it. And it was me starting to crack open that entrepreneurial feeling that I had. But as a part of that, it came about my love really for women. I had avoided it for so long, that old women can't work together, women can't do this, that type of thing. And I was like, no, wait a minute. I'm hurting. I've gone through things in my life. There are other women that are hurting, that are going through things in their lives. Why don't I create this platform, this media, this magazine that will help women become inspired and empowered and all those different amazing things? So I got a touch of this entrepreneurial thing. I got a touch of touching on the lives of women through the magazine and how that made me feel. And because it made me feel so fulfilled, I said, how can I take it a step further? So taking it a step further was, okay, for 22 years I've been sitting in corporate America talking to people about their lives and their careers and whatever it is they needed to talk about on any given day. And I got my greatest fulfillment out of that during my career. So that was, like the journey to my aha moment of, I think I'm going to try this for real. And then when I stepped into it and found out that I had more passion about what I wanted to do than I did real knowledge about how to do it as a business, then that became another set of issues and challenges and things I had to face, but it was part of the journey. It's been a part of the journey. I have reinvented, reiterated myself several times since starting, but it is absolutely an amazing journey, and it helps me become the fullest expression of who I am destined to become, and I get great enjoyment of helping women do the same.
Well, thank you so much. Now, just for you all that want to know my aha moment, I want to tell you that I have been intuitive all my life. I've always had a gift of discernment. And I was a stay-at-home mom for 14 years, and the struggles that I had and had to go through, I was feeling unfulfilled and feeling lonely. I couldn't tell that to anyone, but God kept dropping it in my spirit. You know how you get a little nudge and then you get a little push, like you're not doing what I told you to do. And so I was like, I was really wrestling with God, saying, oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm not telling that, and no. But what I learned is that when you don't align with what you're supposed to be doing, you will have a miserable life.
Mhm.
So it was called submission, and that's what I had to do, was submit to my purpose. And when I submitted to my purpose, I know I am so passionate about mothers that are on mute. And I tell them, you need to unmute your voice, because what we do is we sit here and we are quiet. We don't talk. And what happens to people that don't talk? They end up on drugs and some type of addiction. And I tell mothers all the time is, if you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of those children? If you are not healthy inside, mentally and physically, how are you going to take care of those children? How are you going to raise successful children if you are not, if you don't have it all? So that's how I was started being a consultant to moms, is that I submitted eventually. Okay. So the next question I have is, what do you find the most difficult decision that you to make in business or in life? Because this is not only about business, this is about life, period. What is the most difficult decision that you have had to make in business or in life that eventually you was glad you made it? Let's see. Lori, you go first.
Erica, I love that question because I spent 17 years of my life in the real estate business, owning my own company, growing it from the ground up. I became one of the top leader entrepreneur women in my town. So yes, I've been a business coach, but I've made a huge decision to shift that focus into what I would be found dead doing. Okay? So let's backtrack for a second. And when you ask that question, what we want to tap into is this. The biggest decision or the most challenged decision, you haven't even seen them yet. They are ones that unfold throughout their entire journey. But if I had to pick one, it was losing all. The challenge of losing all in a business I gave all, and being able to honor that it wasn't my fault. That's the challenge. Forgiving yourself for what you had no control over. I lost all my money, all of my material things in 2008 in the biggest real estate crash that we saw on TV. I was homeless for just a short period because I'm a girl from the projects. I'm going to find a place to live. I never thought I would see that day. I never thought I would experience that. But there was something in the challenge. So the biggest challenge turned out to be the biggest and greatest, most amazing thing. I became a success coach. I became the woman I truly envisioned myself becoming. Sitting here right now on a Google Hangout, pulling, propelling, and pumping my stuff into other women that don't quit spirit. And no matter the challenge, Erica, the biggest one was forgiving myself. I lost all. How could you lose all when you've made $1 million? How could you lose all when you're supposed to know right from wrong, dot the I's, cross the T's? So the first thing was, the biggest challenge was forgiving myself after what we call failing forward, as John Maxwell says.
Failing forward. Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'm going to skip and I'm going to go to Cheryl and then I'm going to go to Shayla.
Okay, so the biggest challenge I have encountered in my life, And I'm so glad Lori said what she said about forgiveness, because the biggest challenge I faced just in my life in general was having to forgive. That's been a recurring theme in my life when I get to a certain place and there's like, okay, something happens. And forgiveness is always the thing that I find myself having to do in order to get to the next level, to get to the next
Mm.
place in my life. So one of the biggest challenges I faced was my first marriage. By the time it ended, I hated my ex-husband's guts, literally. And I found myself having to walk through the process of forgiveness because it was literally killing me physically. The level of hatred that I had for him, for things that had happened, and all of these different things. But until I embraced forgiving him, walking through that process, forgiving myself for my contribution to it, forgiving myself for the silence, for living in silence, suffering in silence, and all of that, my life opened up, yet again. And here's the interesting thing about that. I found myself a few months ago, yet again, in a similar situation, faced with forgiveness, having to make the choice if I'm going to harbor something against the person or if I'm going to forgive them so I can move forward in my life. And I chose, once again, forgiveness. And because I chose forgiveness, my life yet again opened up. And now you see I live in Florida. And I'm starting to live the life that I truly desired. And it cost me something. It cost me something, but it's a price I made a decision to pay. But at the same time, I did choose the path of forgiveness. And that's a recurring thing that I've been faced with in my life every step of the way. Every step of the way.
So,
That was it.
Erica,
I was done.
well, I'll jump in until Erica comes back
Oh
on.
no, you know what? I was talking and forgot to unmute myself. I was telling Shayla to unmute herself. Okay, go ahead, Shayla. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
I love the reoccurring theme that's happening here from Lori and Cheryl, and I think forgiveness was definitely a part of my journey. I found myself the lowest point was finding myself with 5 kids in 2010, having a newborn baby, walking through the halls of Prince George's County Court, filing for bankruptcy. I had businesses that I owned. My family was almost 6 figures in debt. And as a college graduate, with the pride of I'm a graduate, I'm smart, I know better, how could I allow myself to get this much debt? How could I allow myself to dive this deep? But pride got in the way. I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't share my struggles with other people. I was the fix it woman. I wore the cape, and the cape didn't solve my problems at all. I got deeper and deeper into trouble, and it got to the point where I just had to say, I give. I tried every fix it program that was out there for, paying off your debt. It didn't work. It got me deeper and deeper into a struggle. And so I had to really let my pride go, let go of my ego, and say, I can no longer do this by myself. And when I did that, walking through those halls, I thought about my children. I thought about my marriage. I thought about my businesses. And I was just grateful on the back end that I was still able to be me. People forgave me for the mistakes that I made, and I had to learn to forgive myself. It's so easy to forgive other people, but we seem to be our own hardest critics. And so I had to really work hard on forgiving myself. And once I released the shame, that's when I was able to step into this role as a guide for other women and be able to help them on their journey as they're building their businesses and show them the right way in building foundations and making sure they have a team of people to support them to keep them on the right track. So it was a huge mistake. It was a huge journey. It was something at that moment that I didn't think I would be able to get out of. But today I stand tall and, I'm able to say, you can survive. You can survive. We worry and think that, we're so worried about what other people are going to think of us sometimes. And that's just my ego. It was like, oh gosh, people are going to talk about me.
Right.
They're going to be upset. No one's going to trust me. No one will ever want me to guide them. People didn't care. They didn't care. People wanted to hear the truth. They wanted to hear that I was human, that I was normal, and that I was able to rebound. And I learned the lesson. So that was my journey. That's why I stand here now. And it's a lesson that I'll take with me forever.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, Ebony.
Absolutely. So mine is kind of like one big thing kind of wrapped up into three kind of segments. I kind of mentioned earlier that when I got my aha moment, I was in the midst of a failing business. And so for 6 years, I was a public school teacher. And in 2011, my husband and I, we started a private Christian school. So I left my uh, predictable paycheck. I left my state retirement. I left all that behind. We started this school. And long story short, we got duped by the folks who we were getting it from. And so we were scapegoats for their foreclosure. And like Shayla, we wound up filing bankruptcy. Both our cars got repossessed. House was foreclosed on. All kind of foolishness. And so when I got my aha moment, I was like, oh, okay, God, now come on. Really? Are you serious right now? I got to, do this again, start over again. And so first of all, the first issue was my own perceived limitations. I felt like I couldn't. I didn't know the right people. I had no money. By that time, my marriage was like on a dental floss thread, and it was just like, okay, I can't do this, guys. So first of all, at first I felt like I couldn't. Then, like Shayla said, other folks, what are they gonna say about me in town, Alabama? So everybody knew it, everybody saw it, and it was just like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna say? How can I tell anybody anything? And then once I got over those two things, the fear came in. But it wasn't so much fear started, but it was the fear of success. Because success was something that I had not seen before. That's the thing. I had failed in stuff. I jump out there and do stuff, and boom, and if it, and I'll come back from it. But I had not been successful before, and I knew that because I had a word from God that this thing, as long as I was obedient to what He told me to do, this thing would be a success. And my biggest fear was, what do I do with success? Success, you know. And that was the thing that kind of held me for a very, very long time, was that fear of being successful. And I decided that I was worth it, and that the greatness that was in me, could I pulling greatness out of other women if I wasn't ready to show my own personal greatness. And so once I got that place, and I said, okay, I'm great, and I'm going for it, I went execution, baby. Went on with it.
Okay. All right, Ebony. Thank you so much. I can relate to that fear of success. You don't know, you don't know. It's the fear of the unknown. You may be losing
Hmm.
friends behind. You don't know what people's going to say about you. You don't know this, and just all worried about other people. Like, so I've been there before, and I'm so glad to say that I can relate to you and know more. Like, people out there
Yes.
just have to know that ain't nobody thinking about us. We thinking about them. They ain't thinking about us. And not only that, and if they are thinking about us, let's show them some big stuff, right? Let them keep watching. Okay, Chanya, your turn.
Okay, well, I'm going to close out with the fact that I think for me, the biggest thing has been transition. Realizing that the tools I had before just weren't going to help me. Well, they're going to help me. They were helping me and they are helping me now, but I needed new tools. So being willing to step out there and get in the training that I need so I can be the best coach, consultant that I can be. For me, the transition, and that's where I have been stuck, probably not so much, well, yes, stuck in transitioning from the Washington, D.C. life to Houston, Texas life. Um, that for me has probably been my biggest challenge, is understanding that it's only a transition and I don't have to stay in this place forever, but that as long as I put a plan together, as I've always done in the past and have been successful at it, put the plan together. So for me, my epic year of 2015 is really going to be about transitioning out of what I was in, but really executing a new plan that I'm putting together with my wonderful coach, or our wonderful coach, Zenobia. Is that's where I really want to be, maxing out execution, understanding that, there are some tools I have from the past that I can use now in the present to get me to where it is I'm going, which is my next level. So for me, my biggest challenge really has been transitioning. For the last 2.5 years, I had was sort of this frequent flyer where I flew into DC every Monday night, and I flew back from DC on Thursday night so I can be with my family. And so for me, that was a challenge for my family to adjust my husband, and I had a 10-year-old or 9-year-old daughter at the time. And so I knew that it was going to be important for me to get myself planted here in Houston. But for 2 years, I was living in that transition mode, really trying to figure out what it is God had called me to do. Not just leaping out of there with no safety net, but wanted to make sure I had some things financially in place, making sure that I had a really good product that I can sell or source and things like that, and that my consulting skills were impeccable. So I had all of these things playing in the background. And even now, as I'm transitioning to my next level, I'm still over critiquing whether or not I'm getting it right. So it's just a journey. And so my biggest challenge has been transitioning from, that good government job to working for yourself as a solopreneur and just really trying to get it
Yes.
all done. So that's pretty much where I'm at. But I'm excited about 2015. I can't wait.
Wonderful. Okay, so the question is, what do you find are the most difficult decisions to make in business or life? And I'll tell you mine. So in 2009, I read Think and Grow Rich. That was and still is a highly recommended book. Now, when I read that book, it gave us 9 things that we need to do to be successful. Well, I had 8 of them down packed. That 9th one, I said, I don't need that 9th one. That 9th one was a coach. So for a couple of years, I struggled because I just didn't understand it. That why would I need a coach? I got this. My skills are good. But it's not about the skills. It's about helping someone get you to where you need to be in a much faster way.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that I didn't have, well, I take that back. I didn't have 2 of them. The other one I didn't have was a mastermind group. Why do people need a mastermind group? You need a mastermind group so you can surround yourself with the support, the accountability, the love. At the bottom level, when you are from the projects and you are from just average, the people are there, they always gossiping. I think they just don't know no better. But when you have a mastermind, people are really, truly they're supporting you. They want what's best for you. So that was my difficult decision on why I didn't do it faster. And it was really hard for me. I was like, I don't need that. I don't need that. But for people on this call, you need that. Everyone needs support. And if all of you, anybody that's in a mastermind or anybody that's had a coach, go ahead and vouch for that. Tell them that that is something that they should have in place. Shayla, Lori, unmute yourself.
I'm unmuted.
I'm unmuted.
Okay.
We're all in agreement.
In agreement, right?
All in agreement.
Absolutely.
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 I would say,
yes.
I have to say, Erica, I did not get out of my funk until I did hire someone. After going through the bankruptcy, the first thing that I said to myself is, you can't do this by yourself anymore.
Yes.
If you want to do something different, you're going to have to involve other people. And I stepped out and took a leap of faith and decided to hire someone. And that's how I made a massive rebound in just 6 months.
And if I could add, I would say this too, to people that are listening. You have to, because I hired coaches. I went to probably about in 2013, 14, 2012. I went to tons of seminars, workshops, and hired coaches that just didn't really work for me for what it is I was trying to do. So I would caution you to be very careful and selective about who it is you select. Make sure the person really have proven results. Because some folks would just put up pages and say that they're great coaches, but you need to really know that they're going to work for you. And in my last year, I've hired, I think, 3 coaches that I think are a great fit for me, and one of them is Zenobia Andrews, and we've worked together over the last 3 months, and I think I've gotten more results out of working with her than I have anywhere else, because she's holding me accountable, not to make me feel good, but to make sure I have results. That's the big difference. Like, you can get a girlfriend to talk to. You can call me if you just want to talk. But if you want somebody that's going to help you get to results, find your coach that's going to be results-oriented and driven with you, not someone that's just going to pat you on your back and make you feel good. Like, it's time out for that. We're going into 2015 to make it big, so you need results. And that's what I would encourage about, hiring a coach or anybody that's going to work with you. Just hire someone that's result-oriented, so you're on the same page.
Yes.
Well, ladies, I'm a little controversial to a little bit. Just a little controversial.
Yeah.
I believe you have everything you need inside you. Now, understand, I'm in full agreement that we need mentorship. I'm in full agreement that it will definitely curb the hits, the blows, the ups, the downs. But if you are not clear, diamond clear on what's holding you back, limiting you, and willing to be truthful about it, do the hard work, find the missing pieces. Now, you can come in and want these 7 figures. You could come in and want this. But if you're not willing to honor the truth, it just doesn't work. We're no miracle workers. And this is why coaching gets a bad name. But on the flip side of that, where would we be if we didn't have the mentor, the leader? And then I'll close with this, because I think this is so important, Erica. I wanted to add this. The reason that women and all of us, and Erica opened it up, that she waited the number 9 to get the coach, because we're not used to investing in ourselves. Let's just be truthful about the things that are really holding us back. So she's out there right now. This is what she does. She does an amazing amount of free events. But when you go to ask, are you ready to invest? Then she draws back to Paradisian, like way back. We're waiting, we're explaining, we're doubting, and it feels better just to stay in our comfort zone. This is why I advocated, and ladies, recently, I just decided no more business coaching for me. That announcement is coming out very shortly. I do want to do the hard work with women. Now I don't know if I'm gonna get paid doing it. I'll let y'all know at the end of 2015, okay? But
Set your goals for just the first quarter.
for sure, I just feel like her hard work is missing because Lori
Yes.
Pelzer is doing more hard work. So until she do that, I'm sorry, all the systems in the world don't work.
Yes.
Glory.
And you know what I want to add to that too is that you have to be, like Lori said, I want to piggyback on that. You have to know what you want. And you don't know what you want until you do the hard work. I call it the soul work because your heart can play tricks on you. Have you ever thought you was in love and then you got your heart broken? Well, I call it the soul work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to be
Yeah.
clear. You have to know what you want. And when you hire that coach or that consultant or that mentor, you have to be able to resonate with that person. They have to be there and have walked in your shoes. You know, they have to have not only can you tell me you did it, but did you go through it? Do you know about what I'm going through? So that's how I choose my coaches. So okay, whoop whoop. Okay, let's see. So now do we have any questions? Let me see here. Again, our hashtag is Rock It Out 2015. Okay, so I have a question. It says for Cheryl Pullins. The question is, how long have you been coaching for women?
I started my business in coaching in 2010. That was the official time, but I was a pastor's wife for 14 years. So you talk about coaching. I
Yes.
did I did a lot of it, in that environment for those years. And I was quite young at the time, too. But officially, it's been since 2010.
Okay. Shayla, the next question is, what other businesses did you have? Because you said my businesses, they said.
Not a problem. So I've been an entrepreneur since 2003. I left corporate America as an engineer, decided to go and do my own thing, and I jumped into owning a birthing business. And so I actually I'm a doula, a certified doula,
I love
and
that.
childbirth educator. So since 2003, I've been supporting women and helping them to birth their babies and, helping families to figure out their process. Other businesses that I've owned that have closed, I also had a retail store for natural children's products that went along with the birthing business. So I closed the retail store. The birthing business still exists. I have other people that work that for me now, and I am working my coaching business. That's my full time where I get my dollars.
Okay.
But now we birth businesses instead of birth babies.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. I got a lady, her name is Trina. She said, Lori, she resonates with you, and why can't you do healing and business both in the same program?
That is a good question because I have made a diamond clarity decision that I am doing the one thing. There's a book I would like a lot of you women to read. It's called The One Thing. It's actually by a real estate guru, but it transitions into every facet of entrepreneurial life and every facet of career life. You ever seen someone master of nothing but doing all sorts of things? And I had a very deep, hard decision to make. This was not easy. Entrepreneurship gets paid. Do you know that the next hottest thing is to want to be in business? I know how to do business, and I know how to help women do business. I'm not bragging, ladies. I'm not trying to impress any of you. I'm trying to impress upon you that I left my 14 very frustrated by some of the women that I coach with as a business coach and a success coach doing both things. So I had to say, listen, if they're not getting all that I feel like they should have or could have, I own that. Did I spread too thin? Did I give all into that? Did the vibrations align? Did the energy pull them into the right place? So I realized, what was it that they really need? And through a survey of going through my entire year of talking to hundreds of women, fear was at the top of the list. Self-doubt, limiting beliefs. That's why you can't buy a coaching program, because you can't get past those things. So I can't get you into entrepreneurial stuff to get you in business, to learn the 3-pronged marketing approach and get your Facebook set up and all that good stuff and learn how to make 6 figures if you still not self-aware. You can't tap yourself on the shoulder and invite yourself in to go deeper. So I decided I want to go there. That's a hard decision for me. It's a scary decision, by the way, because if it don't scare you, it don't line up. But I really feel God is calling me and revealed to me that this is where I need to go, Erica, and thank her for asking the question.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you. Okay, so we are on for segment number 2. I wish segment. I wish I learned the true power of what? The true power of what? What do you wish you learned the true power of earlier in your life? And so I will ask Ebony.
All right. So Mark Twain said that the 2 most important days in your life are the days that you find out why. First of all, we have to establish purpose, and everything else flows from there. Once you know exactly what your why is, everything, not saying that it's easy, but it's not complicated. Once you establish that why, and what's surprising is that there are so many people who are just living to get old. There is no desire, there's no drive toward any specific anything, just living to get old. They want to retire, work 30 years, get that watch, get that plaque, sit on the porch, rock, watch the cars go back and forth. But when you are aware of what your God-given purpose is, and you know why you're on the planet, it's like everything, your perspective about everything changes. And so now the issue is, I got to get this out, and so that's why my heart's desire is to help other women to discover their purpose, because there are so many people just living to get old, and that's it.
Okay.
So the primary work has to be done, kind of like what Lori is saying. The primary work that has to be done is establishing who you are and why you are here. Why in the world are you in the world? What's your point? Why do you exist? Why are you sucking up oxygen? That's where the primary work has to be done, and then everything else flows from there.
That's right.
The end.
Oh.
I'm done.
Okay, thank you so much. I love that because it's true. Absolutely. Okay, Tanya, I wish I had learned the true power of what earlier?
Let's see. For me, I think you know what? I think I'm going to go back to what one of them have said, and I think it was probably Lori. But it really goes back to all that you need, you already have inside of you. All that you need is already on the inside of you. And I think if I had learned that very early on, I would not be, picking and pulling for straws and doing this and doing that. Then I could just plan it all out. At least that's what I think. But I do know that I have sat in some rooms and I say, I know what my spirit's telling me. So really trusting my instincts, trusting the skills that I have, trusting the trainings that I have, trusting just myself to make that decision. So I think really aligning myself with the truth of who it is I am and what I'm on this earth and purpose to be, that is probably my truth. My truth is understanding and recognizing and realizing to the fullest that all that I need is already in me. And so I think that would be probably the truest sense of where it is I would go in understanding.
Okay, Cheryl.
If I had to say, it would be, I think it's along the same lines. It really is this whole idea of self-empowered, that we
Mhm.
already have in us what we need. We look so much for validation, acceptance, and permission to
Mhm.
live the lives that we desire. We're waiting for everybody else to validate what we know we want, and we don't pursue it in waiting in, for all of that permission and all those different things. So it's that self-empowerment piece that I already have in me what I need to live the life I desire, to become the woman that I'm destined to become. And all of those amazing things, it's already in there. We've been equipped with it already, and really embracing and accepting that. You know, I start my intro off by saying I'm a Gap Tooth brown girl from South Philly, because at my core, that's who I am. And once I accepted that and connected with that, it reminds me of every wish, desire, and dream that I have, and that I have it in me to make it happen. You know, so I'm real intentional. When I say it, it has meaning to it. You know, when I say that I'm more than just a woman that likes stilettos and loves to travel, there's a whole lot more to me than that, but it's still a part of who I am, and I'm good with it. You know,
Mhm.
so that whole self-empowerment piece, I think for me is the most powerful thing that I wish I had known when I was 23 years old, you know, but I know it now.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, mine would be, I'm going to just say what mine would be. I wish I had learned the true power of valuing myself. So
Mhm.
let that sit for a minute. You know, just like you ladies said, we look for validation. We look for the next person that's going to like my page. We look for the next person that's going to, you know, say,
Tell
come
me.
on.
Mhm.
And so when you love yourself, when you want what's best for you, when you know what you bring to the table, nothing else matters. When you know that your heart is overflowing with love, nothing else matters, because you're being the best person that you can be. Now, you have all these naysayers over here,
Mhm.
and we worrying about them. No, worry about what you bring to the table. So for me, mine was my self value. So now, guess what? I'm like, if you don't want to be bothered with me, I'm not going to allow myself to be bothered with you, because I know what I bring, and that's mine.
Woo.
Okay, and so Shayla, and then we'll go to the next question.
This is a big one for me. What I wish I had learned previously was that your independence can kill you. You know, for me, I prided myself in being independent, and so therefore I was a big giver. You know, I gave to a lot of people, I served a lot of people, but it was hard for me to receive that same love and support from people. And so I had to really hit bottom before I could learn that I didn't have to be a shero. It wasn't necessary. I didn't have to portray myself as someone having it all together. You know, it was not who I needed to be. And even in speaking to friends that knew me before I did the bankruptcy and before I had all of my failures, people would say, we had no idea you were struggling. We had
Mhm.
no idea what you were going through, because I had this image of everything has to be okay. I crossed the threshold of my doors and I put out to the universe and to my community, I'm fine. And I would come back across my threshold and cry in the evenings, come in my house and just be in tears and be depressed, because that's the image I thought that I had to put out there. So that was the biggest thing I wish I had learned earlier on, that it was okay to say I'm struggling. It's okay to say I need help. It's okay to have a sisterhood and support. And the funny thing is, for me being a doula and a childbirth educator, that's what I did. I supported people, but I couldn't accept that same support back because I felt that I had to be bigger. I felt that I had to have it together so that I can do the work that I needed to do. And that was a grand lesson that I had to learn. And I think a lot of women do this every day. And I'm loving that I'm able to teach it now that it's not necessary.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Shayla, because you know I used to deal with that image thing.
Hmm.
For you all know that I have 7 children, so it's like, what the hell you doing with 7 children? So you know what I'm saying? People don't have seven.
I know, I have 6, so I get it.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's like, you have to. I thought that I had to put on the image of everything is okay.
Hmm.
You wasn't gonna know what was on the inside of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I totally get, Shayla, exactly what you're saying, that self-image thing. But now, I'm open. I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eric, I got
Okay.
a question. Eric, I got a favor. I wanted to answer that question. I promised to take 30 seconds. I know I talked too long.
Go ahead.
Just tell the truth, ladies. I got to share this because this is so important. The question, I just wanted to answer it very quickly. I wish I'd known more about my feminine. I wish I'd known more about the power of femininity. I wish I'd known that the best intercourse was learning inside me that was taking place in my womb. I know that's deep. That's where I'm at.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, that's where I'm
Thank
at.
you.
I'm actually, ladies, I'm actually hiring a coach to work with me on inner womb work because I found out from an event that Erica and I met at that I had some stuff that was so deep down in me that would not come out
Right.
but through this process called sacred intercourse, learning the feminine. And I'm just really excited about this new coaching I'm about to receive. And I'm just telling you, it's really deep, and I ain't telling everybody to go for it, okay? But I had
But
to share
listen, can
that.
you share who the coach is? I think I may know who
No.
you're talking about. Inbox me.
Will do, will do.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love it. I love this. So, ladies, if you are on the call and you're listening live, I hope that you are writing down and getting some juicy nuggets from this because I'm telling you, it doesn't get any better than this. This is us our pouring our heart out to you, pouring our souls out to you. So I want you to get what we're saying because you just don't get it from anyone else. A lot of people are not out there just telling you what you can do differently and what we've been through. So, the next question is, I wish I had been more coachable on what? This is the I wish segment. I wish I had been more coachable on what? Ebony.
Um, I wish I would have been more coachable on delegation. I am very much a control
Yes.
freak all day, and I'm all about if I do it, then I know it's going to be right and it's going to be the way I want it, And so, but at the same time, I'm a solopreneur, and so all there is me, and so I'm wearing myself thin, and I can't give what I want to give to my clients because I gotta check email and send email and do the bookkeeping. And I mean, I'm secretary, I'm everybody, and like my coach would say, listen, you need to outsource. Outsource? What? I can do this? What you mean? And I tie my cape a little tighter, and all the while I'm strangling myself because I'm trying to be everything. And so I was what Alison Bird calls a COE instead of a CEO. You know, um, I was the chief of everything. And because I was a COE, chief of everything, I could not be an effective CEO. But once I got to the place where I said, okay, you know, I got to trust the process and I got to delegate, or I'm going to just fall flat on my face, everything just kind of went up. And so I wish I had been at the beginning more coachable about delegation and not wanting to hoard everything and hold on to it. That's dangerous. It will get you in trouble and it will keep you broke. Being a control freak will keep you broke, flat out.
That's good.
Thank you so much. So you hear that? Being a control freak will keep you broke. Okay, Cheryl, same
Yes.
question. Thank you.
Wait a minute, I'm laughing because Ebony just said the same thing.
Well, guess what? If
Yes,
you want to know the
ma'am.
truth, I got the same answer. Delegation.
I am, because I am such a control freak. And but here's what it is. You know, we have a certain vision in our minds. We see things a certain way. We see
Mhm.
the end result, and it's almost like it's challenging for us to teach or to show somebody how to get it to that result or do it the way we would do it or
Yes.
say it the way we would say it. You know what I'm so you know it's because we have this controlling piece. It's like, oh, you know, we think that, oh, you know what, it's quicker if I just do it myself.
Right.
Hmm.
But the truth is, it's costing us time because we're not using that time to do something, you know, that's pushing the vision forward for real, contributing to the bottom line. We're doing these tasks, these administrative tasks that we get stuck in, you know,
Mhm.
because we have this sense of control, because we see it the way we see it, and we honestly don't believe that anyone else could nowhere near do it, you know, the way we would want to do it. But then that's
Exactly.
connected to perfectionism because so many
Right.
of us
Mhm.
are perfectionists and we're tied to that
Hmm.
perfect vision of how we see it. And if we can't have it that way, then we don't want it at all or we do it ourselves. So it's all interconnected, it's all intertwined, but it's pretty much exactly the same thing.
That's good.
Hmm.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna follow up on another question. I want Shayla to answer it, and then Chanya.
Okay.
Okay, so I wish I followed my instincts more about what?
Oh,
That's
that's
a good
good.
one. I wish I'd followed my instincts more on. This is going to go back to what Lori and Cheryl said, actually. Um, no, I'm sorry, what Ebony and Cheryl said about delegation. I wish I'd followed my instincts back in 2005, 2006, when I first was setting up my web pages. I had the opportunity to hire people to build them for me. And they weren't super expensive, but I was in the mouse minded place of I can do it better myself or I can do it cheaper. After playing around with something, this website, for about 3 weeks and being up at night frustrated, I still ended up paying someone to do it. So not only did I lose time, I lost money. The web page could have been already up. I could have been making money within the first week that I had made the decision, but I was too caught up in I can get it done. You know, I can't afford to pay someone else to do it. The truth was I couldn't afford not to pay someone else to get that work done for me. You know, that's part of being a CEO, as it was stated, and being a boss, being able to let other people help you so you can make the money and spend the time doing the things that are in your zone of genius. So I wish I had done that. You know, now I know with this business, I'm quick to hire someone. Whenever there's a step or a task that needs to be taken care of, I'm always saying, who can do it? You know, pay the money, get it done, get it out of the way so you can make the money you deserve.
Absolutely, I
That's
totally
right.
agree. Thank you so much for sharing. Chanya,
Okay, to Shayla's point, I just wanted to add, one of my friends a long time ago told me it's cheaper or it's better to go first class the first time. So just do it.
that's
And
good.
so that's one thing I have learned. But I think the one thing that I would say that I should have followed my instinct on is this. When you get comfortable, and I would say complacent, very comfortable with your good government job or your good, 9 to 5, that's probably the death of probably could be the death of me because I'm not dead yet. But I think that has probably been the one, is the complacency and the procrastination, putting it off like, oh, I can take care of this later. Oh, I can do this later. Or, you know what, I'm going to be here next year, 2010, I can get to that then. I think that is probably the biggest thing for me, is to follow my instincts and not put it off. Just do what it is I can do today. You know, set the goals for each day and make sure that I'm checking off the things that I'm supposed to do, because I will put it off to the very end, and then I'll come up with, oh, I work well under pressure. Meanwhile, I'm stressed the hell out, which is not a good thing. So I think, you know, if we really understand that complacency doesn't have a place in our lives, nor do procrastination, that they're like cousins, we just need to kick them to the curb. So that's what I would say, is really follow my instincts on do not procrastinate, and try not to get complacent and comfortable with what you have. Always looking for the next level of wherever you are, because there is a next level for each one of us. They may be different, but there is another level. Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's see. The next one is Lori. Same question. Tell me if you need me to repeat it.
I do. I was actually trying to get some information out to the ladies online, but I'm ready. Ask one more time for me, please.
Okay, I wish I followed my instincts more about what?
Okay. I'm going to take a deep breath when I tell you ladies this. So for all of you that's listening, I wish I'd have followed my intuition, my gut, the thing that's inside me as a woman, to really honor something called integrity with others. See, integrity with others, I've been learning lately, it's not about did I steal something from them. I was challenged recently on the word, and I didn't like the challenge. It made me want to go back to the projects and fight. You know, I'm a girl from the projects. It took me that far back. But I wish I had listened to my intuition that told me not to sign my name on a piece of document that could have legally cost me $30,000 or more, and not be fully financially ready to undergo that particular type of financial commitment. And I'm putting it out there for you ladies, because we're not talking about integrity at all in the sense that I stole something or I lied about something intentionally. So this particular leader in her marketplace, she said to me, but you have an integrity issue. And I said, no, I don't. But I wish I had listened to my intuition, which was deeper. It was in my womb saying, Lori, this is stretching you too far. Your survival sister is kicking in, and you got to drop her off. So you got to hear the inside of you, and that's what I wish I had did, and not go in that room, because I wouldn't have to do this womb work right now if I had stayed my butt in the room with the people who couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Just honoring the truth.
Yeah. Okay. So yours is basically intuition about integrity.
When you felt it showing up. And for me, that was what it was. So whatever you have to honor the truth. It's more honoring your truth.
Yes, your
whatever
truth.
That truth is showing up for you. Don't try to ignore that. Don't try to go and borrow it. Don't try to go do what I did, because I went and called in a couple credit cards, did a couple things to put the deposit down.
Right.
So don't do that, because what happens at the end of the day, she and I may not be colleague friends ever again. Okay? And I didn't do anything to hurt her intentionally. I just knew survival has been with me so long. I can make $30,000. I've made far more money than that. But in this particular situation, it was called to the surface. So my intuition was showing up. It was telling me. I was sweating. I was back and forth. I was like, I can do it. I know I can do it. But I went on and did something I didn't honor. I didn't honor the truth in me, that it was going to stretch me and push me into a survival mode, even though I didn't want to hear her say it to me. But I'm glad she said it to me. I'm going to be better for it. So honor your truth. You know your truth more than anybody else.
Yes, absolutely. So honor your truth. I love it, love it, love it. So I was going to say something similar to yours, Lori, but mine is I wish I would have followed my instinct more about now in this market and in this world, it's very, very noisy. And you got emails after emails. You know how we put our name and email in so that we can get somebody something?
Mhm.
So our inboxes are so noisy. And people are always marketing and marketing and marketing. And intuitiveness really need to kick in because people are trained to be excellent marketers, whether they mean it or whether they don't. Marketing and persuasion can really, really get to a person because you're like, oh, I'm raising my hand, this is what I need. Oh, I'm raising my hand, this is what I need. And if you keep on raising your hand to everybody because you're thinking that this is what you need,
Hmm.
you're really not being intuitive. You're really looking on the outside of what you need. See, there's an inside of what you need and what you already have. And then there's an outside of you thinking that you need this, you thinking you need that, you thinking you need. I'm telling you, I have bought almost every course from almost everybody, hypothetically speaking, not really, but from a lot of people, trying to get this and trying to get that, and but really, really, intuitively, guess what? Implementation is the key. You can buy everything from everybody, but intuitively, you need to take action. So to rock it out in 2015, you need to find somebody that is going to help you take the action. So there it is for me. My intuitiveness is knowing what you need because everybody is selling everything out there. Get clear on who you are, what you need, and at the specific time that you need it. So there, that is mine right there. Okay. All right. And then I'm going on to the next thing. Okay, and this is one of the last questions for game two, and we're almost finished, you all. I wish I didn't let other people's expectations hold me back. And I
Hmm.
think we talked about this earlier. What have you allowed, or maybe you just thought it? Maybe it really didn't happen. I heard someone earlier say I was fearful of success. Those people didn't tell you to be fearful of success. So what was you fearful of success for? So my thing is, I've been there too. So what expectations? I wish I didn't let other people's expectations hold me back. So if you had, and everybody have either had this problem or thought that somebody else's expectation of you, you've let it held you back, right? So
Yeah.
what I'm gonna start with maybe Cheryl. Tell me one thing that you have let somebody or you thought that they was thinking that hold you back.
Um, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Wow. Let's see. Something I thought somebody was thinking that was holding me back.
Well, or maybe somebody else's expectations. Have you ever had a what will people say or what people will think moment? Have that ever held you back?
Um, Not a whole lot, cause I'm kind of I'm gonna do it anyway, whatever kind of person.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I would have to think really hard about. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, let's go. Let's move on. Okay, Chanya, have you ever had
This
something like that?
I have, and because my background is straight Capitol Hill, people will be like Capitol Hill, Chanya, government. But I like maybe 2 months ago, I had an idea to do, and I just posted in our group, and it was called My Political Popcorn Business, right? But I did not do anything with it. I went online, did the research. It was going to be gourmet popcorn, but I was going to call it political popcorn for Republican, Democrats, and independents. But I have a friend who would be like, really, Chanya? So that was in my head, and I haven't done anything with that because I was like, she's going to be like, really, you shouldn't be in the popcorn business. You're supposed to be in government. So just in that, and I'm laughing about it because that's the most recent thing that I can think of that I was like, oh, they're going to be like, Chanya, what are you doing? Because I, too, do a lot of different things to support people, to support young people, to support women, to support myself. And so I said, oh, can do a gourmet popcorn business, just sell them, doing certain things. My friend was in my head, and I still haven't told her about it, but because I thought about what she would say to me, I haven't done anything with it. And so that's the one that I was like, I really want to do my popcorn business, but I don't have time for it right now. But it was just one of those things that I just did not do because I didn't think she would support it, and probably my family were like, what are you doing? But so that's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Ebony?
I'm like Cheryl. I'm still thinking. Because I'm really, like I said earlier, I'm a risk taker. Well, calculated risks, and I'm just, I'm just not a person who, now, of course, I surround myself with people who have wisdom. Let me just say that. But when it comes to people just hating on me, oh nah, boo, no.
I
You know what I'm
love it.
saying? So I'm still trying to think of a time where I'm like, and I'm coming up short, Erica. Come back to me.
Oh, no,
I'm
no.
sorry.
That's good. Okay, that's
Think-
fine. That's fine. Okay, Lori, and then Shayla.
So for me, I had a particular incident that or experience that showed up, ladies, while y'all were trying to figure y'all's out. I had to go deep too. I just came into the coaching business and retired in 2012 from the real estate business, right? And so I came right in, gung ho, right, running at it, all full in, because that's how I go, all in
Go
or
hard.
none, all in or
Mhm.
none, all of me. And so I'm at conferences, learning, growing, expanding. We have to always do that, no matter where we are, no matter what phase. So I'm at this particular conference, no names, none. Don't y'all ask, don't inbox me, I ain't telling you. So I'm at this big women's conference that a lot of women have gone to over the years. And I'm excited because I wanted to manifest a meeting with one of the speakers that were going to be on the panel because I am a professional speaker. And I wanted to manifest one particular meeting. And in that one particular meeting, I had practiced it in my mirror. I had said, if she gives me 30 seconds, I got the best elevator pitch for her. She just needs to ask me who. She don't need to just say what and say anything, boo, and I'm going straight in.
Yes.
So I did manifest this moment, laws of attraction, and she happens to be one of those that are in that book. However, she wasn't the one that caused me the issue. The experience was beautiful in that I manifest that meeting was in a very secluded, very high content moment that I didn't pay for. I paid for a VIP ticket, but I didn't pay for that moment. So the question was asked by the particular host of the event, how many of you have a dream, a goal that you want to fulfill, and you came to this conference to learn how to do that and you plan to do it? So yours truly raised her hand. I'm not shy, not a girl from the projects. So I go, that would be me. I have one. She says, okay, and I go to tell her that my big dream was starting my own women's conference. One of the things I plan to do as a success coach, my own conference. It's called Ignite Her Be. That's my conference, ladies. It'll be year 3, 2015, right? So I went to share with her my vision quickly, And she responded and she said, do you have the money? Are you willing to put the money up? Where are you going to get the money from? She went down a list so fast, it was like an atomic bomb hit. The whole room was looking, and I was looking like, are you willing to put it all on the line? Do you have the credit? And I'm going, do she know who she's talking to? I wouldn't even be in this room. I paid $600 for a ticket, lady. I don't even know you like that. And I'm just being honest. So I'm going, why did she attack me? She asked a question, I answered her. Then it hit me. Duh. Lori, you're not supposed to ask the host of a conference to tell her you're going to put your own conference on in front of her people at her conference. I said, oh.
Oh, Jesus.
Didn't know. She should have said there's some questions you can't ask. I'm thinking she's going to give me the sister love, the sister hug. You know, I'm cheering for you. Instead, I got, you can't do this. You don't have enough money to put on a conference like this, baby girl. I left like this. Oh. I called my husband. I said, I'm ready to go. Come pick me up. Come pick me up. Come pick me up now. He said, baby, what happened? I said, just pick me up. And I went in my room and sulked that night. Do I have the money to put on a conference like this? I wasn't trying to steal her conference. I'm not one of those. I don't do the stealing thing, okay? Oh, my God. She just shut this down like, and then she told me to back in. If you don't pay the people that come to the conference, integrity, and she was going all the way out. And I'm going, all I wanted to know that it was possible. So that's a big one. Be careful who you tell your dreams to.
Yes.
Be very careful. And be careful that you back to intuition. Know what environment you're in. You may not know, but you'll find out like me, huh? But for sure, it didn't stop me. Ignite Her Bee is in year 3, 2015, and it's going to rock. And I didn't steal anything from her. God gave me the vision. Gave it to me in my sleep. I wake up with her. I'm birthing her. So therefore, if I do it wrong, and yes, I did get in debt. She was right. I paid it all, though. I paid it all. And yes, it is hard work. She was right. But all I wanted her to say to me was, it's possible. Do you have a heart for what you do really want to do with this conference? And if she'd asked that question, hey, I might invite her as a speaker. But I'm sorry. But they're out there, ladies. They're out there. They'll snatch your wound out. That's just the truth. Because we're not all on the same vibration. Ecologically, we are not all vibrating on the same, I want to help you. I want to pay it forward. I love you. I really mean that. So I'm, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah, there are many out there that's going to steal your dream and crush it and slice you up with it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that, because you are absolutely right. Okay, Shayla.
How do I follow Lori? Okay, Lori.
I'm sorry.
But it's awesome the way that you delivered that story, because I had something very similar, not on in a public manner as grand as yours, but with my birthing business, I was going through a recertification in 2007, and my instructor stated to me that, here's the price range of which doulas should be charging in this area. And she very clearly said, it drives me crazy when doulas that are newer are charging this amount of money. I've been training and teaching for over 20 years, and no one should be charging more than this. She was charging a measly fee. I was not charging a measly fee. And it was also stated, you're not in the business of doula work and birth work to make money. You're here to serve. I said, oh, she got the wrong person, because we forgot how many people I have to feed, first of all. Secondly, I know my value. And so she asked what we were charging. And at that time, she was charging $600 or so, and I was charging $1,200. And I said, look, you might be training me, but I know my value. And so when I put that out there, I had several doulas that called me from the area, and they said, "Why are you charging this much? You're newer than us." I said, "Because I provide stellar service. I know that my clients are getting the best of me, and I know what I'm worth." And so I was one of the doulas in the area that started to make six figures, and the others were still begging for crumbs. And so I started seeing the trend of other doulas increasing their pricing. And every time they would increase theirs, I would increase mine more. And I got chastised in the industry in this DC area. They chastised me. They said, "You're overcharging. That's not something that you should be doing." I said, "No, I know what I'm worth, and I'm okay with what I'm worth. And that's your problem. You're dealing with your own issue. It's not any of my issues at all." So I've dealt with the doulas and the childbirth educators, but I knew my fees. I knew what value I brought to the table, and I ended up training other people after that because I never wanted another person to be taught that you can't charge a dollar amount that you want to charge. It's your business. We're entrepreneurs for a reason, so that we can be in control of our destiny. And how dare you tell me what I'm worth and what I'm valued at?
That's right.
Absolutely. That's what they're valued at. They can't tell you. I know that's right. Absolutely. Okay, so I have a quote from Jim Rohn, and it says, "You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight." So let that sit for a minute. What direction do you want to change? You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. Now, I have a question for you, ladies. How many of you want to start your own business, or how many of you are in a new business and you need help getting exposure? Or how many of you want to be on the panel with me with some very supportive, amazing women that can get you through your beginning stages and your accountability? We will give you the support that you need. Now, let me ask you, some of you out there, you need to build your confidence. You know that you need to make changes. You know that you need certainty and community. Maybe you need to gain exposure, but you don't want to gain exposure by yourself. Maybe you need to be handheld in some cases. Maybe you need to gain sisterhood and you are tired of being alone. And maybe you are committed now to forgive yourself for not being in the place where you think that you should be. So just decide now if you need help. And I want to share with you a resource that I have for you. So it's my Fast Start 60-day Google Hangout exposure resource. And it's a one group call a month. You'll get on a group Google Hangout with me twice. And you'll get templates and worksheets that will get you from start to more exposure. Now let me tell you what the bonuses are. The bonuses are you'll get one, if you're the first person, now all I want you to do is email me. If you're the first 8 people to email me with the subject line, "I want in," then you will receive a 1-hour deep dive coaching session with me for 2015, a 2015 plan, and it's worth $397. And you'll get an email template from me so that you can get more interviews and get noticed more on other people's stages. And the third bonus that you get with me, and I want to tell you this is worth $1,500. Now the third bonus you get with me is a mindset call. Because look, if you can't change your mindset and you can't change your attitude about growing your business, about the confidence, your skills, your qualities, your value. If you don't have that, then how far do you plan on going? You need to have the attitude, and they say that's worth 90%, and the implementation is worth 10%. You have to just do it. If you have any inclinations or feelings that you can't do something, you're worried about what people think, that you're not smart enough, that you're too fat, then you need the mindset call. Now, the total value for all of that stuff is $1,585, but you won't pay that. I have sold this package for $997 before. The Google Hangout, the templates, you get all that, the calls with me, but you won't pay the $997 either. The total price today is $497. And I'll even let you break it up into 3 payments of $177, 30 days apart. Why? Because I've been there where you've been, and I've been there where you're trying to go. This is a new 2015 package that you need to be in if you're trying to grow your business. Now, if you say you don't have the time, then you need to get your busyness and get to business. And you need to know how to do that. So you're supposed to be going into 2015 not making any excuses. If you don't have the money, find the money, because a lot of you all, you get your weave done, you got your shoes, you get your kids those nice Jordans that's coming out. Find the money so that you can put in you, so that you can make your 2015 great. And what if you have a spouse or significant other? Just explain to them that this is what you need. And I have a question for you. When it's time to go buy those Jordans or go buy that weave for your hair or go get your hair done, do you ask permission from your spouse? So if you're ready to make changes and you know that this is what you need to gain more exposure. You need the templates and the emails and the support and the accountability. If you know you need that, then that is what my email is for, info@ericacareem.com. And again, it's only the first 8 people. Only 9 people can get on that Google Hangout. So the first 8 people that inbox me at info@ericacareem.com, you'll get my bonuses. Now, opportunity is missed by most because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work if you want to get to the next level, but we're here to support you. Okay, and in closing, I want to say that tune in this coming Tuesday at 8 p.m. There, we are going to give you the 7 tips that you can do immediately. See, on this Hangout, we were giving you tips that you can implement on the mindset. On Tuesday, we're going to give you the little things, the 7 tips that you can do immediately to rock out your 2015. So you want to tune in on Tuesday. Do anyone have anything to say before we absolutely close out? Nobody have anything to say? Okay. Going once?
Erica, I think you were going to mention about the giveaways for the listeners so that they can come back on Tuesday.
So so in the beginning, I mentioned that we have an excellent giveaway on Tuesday. So that if you come back, when you come back on Tuesday, this panel have free gifts for you so that you can finish out the 2-part series. So be here on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And after we give you the 7 tips that you need to implement for 2015, you will get your free gifts. Thank you so much, Chanya.
You're welcome.
Now, I just want to say that my prayer for you all is to believe in yourself, to know your worth, to attract abundance, for you not to make excuses, and to put people in your corner that stretch you. That's what you have to do. Put people in place that is going to pour into you and make sure that you are okay. That when you say that you want this goal, these goals, that they're here to lean into you, hold you accountable, and be there for you. So I want to thank you so much for joining us, and I want you to have a wonderful and incredible and enlightening evening. Bye-bye.
Ladies.
Bye, ladies.
Bye bye, ladies.